So most Christians don't realize this about demons specifically, that they need a body. And the Bible actually shows us this clearly in Mark chapter 5. So I want to break that down today, okay? So if you go to the Gospel of Mark chapter 5, 1 through 13, you see this man, right? Runs from out of this tomb, okay? Cutting himself, breaking things, right? Breaking chains, living among the dead. And the text says that no one could restrain him. And then the demon speaks. Not just one, have you? It says, "My name is Legion, for we are many." That's Mark 5:9. Now, a legion in Roman terms literally could mean thousands. I'm not kidding. Thousands of demons. This man wasn't oppressed, guys. He was occupied. But here's what most people miss here. So pay attention. The demons, they beg Jesus. Mark 5:10 says, implored him earnestly not to send them out of the country. So then in verse 12, what happens? They say, send us to the swine that we may enter them. Did you notice something there? What do? They ask for permission. They don't negotiate, right? They don't command. They don't tell Jesus, this is what's happening. They don't resist him. They ask. And Jesus does what? He gives them permission. Now that alone should tell you everything about spiritual authority. Even a legion of demons, potentially thousands, must submit to Christ. Now, why do they ask to enter the pigs or the swine? Because demons, they seek embodiment. That's how they work. In Matthew 12:43, Jesus says that an unclean spirit leaves a man and it passes through dry places seeking rest and finds none. So they look for this habitation, right? They are restless without a host. This is why understanding how demons operate actually matters, because the more we see it, the more we recognize it. They function on assignment, okay? They operate within boundaries. They seek access and they require permission, either divine permission or some sort of human agreement. And if you look at the language, what does it say? It says they begged him repeatedly. That means that they knew that Jesus was the ultimate authority, not Satan, even though they follow him and are on assignment by him. It's not the region, it's not culture, Jesus alone. And when Jesus permits them to enter the swine, what happens? The pigs, what do? They rush down the steep bank and drown in the sea. Destruction. That's always the end goal, right? John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. Demons, they don't build. They don't create, right? And they certainly don't bless. They destroy vessels. That is their job. That is their assignment. And they get put in various parts of the world. They've been studying us for thousands of years. Now, here's the powerful part here. Jesus allows the transfer, but he frees the man in return, right? The man who was naked is now clothed. The man who was sitting violent is still, right? He's sitting. The man who was tormented, right? He's in his right mind now. So authority, it doesn't expel demons. Authority restores identity. And then the demons themselves, they still had to obey. Listen, guys, if demons needed Jesus' permission then, they still operate under his authority now. God's word doesn't change. That means assignments from Satan are limited by the sovereignty of God, right? Look at Job 1. Satan had to present himself before the Lord. He needed permission to touch Job. The enemy is not autonomous. He is on a leash, a very tight leash, have you? Now, that doesn't mean that spiritual warfare isn't real, okay? So don't take this the wrong way. It means that it's regulated. And here's a deeper takeaway here. The demons recognized Jesus before the crowd did. They cried out, what? Right? What did they say? What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? Right? They had correct theology. They just had rebellion, right? Studying how demons operate, it's not about obsession. It's about awareness. We should always be aware of the enemy's tactics and tricks. Paul says in 2 Corinthians 2:11, so that we would not be ignorant of his schemes. So, ignorance, that gives access. Understanding establishes authority. But we can never forget this, right? The focus is not on demons. The focus is Christ. Because in one word, go, they went. One word, get out of here. Or get out of here. That's 3 words. And the man was free, right? And after that, the restored man wanted to follow Jesus physically. It's incredible. But Jesus told him, what did he say? He said, go home to your friends and tell them how much the Lord has done for you. Deliverance led to mission, to this specific man's mission. Freedom led to testimony. How many of us can relate to that? So here's the message I want you to take away. Now, demons, they may be on assignment, right? They might be told by Satan what to do. But Jesus holds the authority. They may seek embodiment, but Christ brings liberation. They may ask for access, but he determines boundaries. And when Jesus steps into a region, torment does not get the final word. Authority does. So, study the word, guys. Know the schemes of the enemy. Recognize it. But fix your eyes on the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, because even a legion bows to the King. And when Christ says, go, one word, darkness has no choice. When in doubt, call out to the King, and he will save you in more ways than one. The more you understand spiritual warfare, the more you start to recognize it in the world and realize that our entire lives revolve around spiritual warfare, and the distractions everywhere stem from the enemy. Satan is clever. His demons are clever. These fallen angels are clever. They've been studying us for thousands of years. They know your ancestors. Do you not think that they have information that they utilize and use against us? And the closer we get to the end times, which we certainly feel it, with everything picking up and the birth pains, it's nonstop, the more we start to recognize the tactics. But at the same time, the enemy starts to get more clever, more deceptive, and they'll almost get you. But when you recognize it, you realize where it's coming from. And you know that your only protection is the Lord, is Yahweh. So, with that said, I love you. God bless. I'll see you in the clouds in his time. Instead of the enemy's assignments, what assignments does God have for you? Think about it. Go and do it. Feed his sheep. Preach the word, and the enemy will flee. God bless. I love you. I'll see you in the clouds.